In this video, I want to talk about design for your practice piece. So remember, this is supposed to be a smaller piece, but it's not supposed to be so small that you really struggle with trying to cut the shape out. So I want to talk about grabbing a scrap sheet of paper, drawing a couple ideas out. You can always jump online and try to find something small. And we can always print it off for you. I might have a shared document. You have to ask me about that, or you might just have to email it to me. Just ask me and I can explain it a little bit farther. So right now I have these grid pieces that will be available to you. There's a 10 by 10 and a 7 by 14. So if you want to make a taller one, you can use this one. If you want to make one that's a little more square in composition, you can use this one as well. So first off, for ideas, you can do shapes, you can do, symbols, you can think about, things that are important to you, even like video game or religious things if you want to. That's completely up to you in terms of what you want to make. But they gotta be able to make it large enough that it actually fits, inside of here. So I'm just gonna play around first off with just a couple designs. Again, staying a little more blocky, it does make it a little bit more easier to cut. I'm just going to play around with, just like a J shape. And then how would I break this up? I could definitely have this one. Here's one piece. This is too hard right here, but I think I could get away with this shape in terms of trying to get this gradual curve right here. If not, another way of breaking this up that probably would be a little bit easier is have a break right here and a break right here, and I have my shape. You can always grab things like this circle. Circle does fit within that area. So you can. These are our paint lids that we have. Just ask me about it. And then the one that I used to have everybody do is just a really badly drawn yin-yang symbol. Let's try that again. That's a little better. This was our one that I had everybody do all the time, but then I started wanting you guys to come up with your own designs. But that one's kind of cool. So again, just keeping these, around like 2, 3, 4 pieces. You get more than that, it gets a little more hectic. I can still stay with Christmas if I wanted to. I also have this Christmas tree design that you can trace out. And we have these round pieces of glass that you can use if you want to. If you want that, just talk to me about it. Maybe I can even do like a football helmet. You do want to stay within your remember that the document we talked about making sure you don't have impossible shapes. I would definitely look this one up online, because I know that's not looking right. So this piece right here, this would work. This is getting to that impossible shape. So you have to make that a little less awkward right there. Yeah, I can draw. Gosh, that's not too bad. So I would have to probably bring that down. So this is kind of an impossible shape the way this comes in at a right angle. So I might have to break that right there. So 1, 2, 3. But if these are the same color, especially if they're light, because your solder is going to be kind of a lighter color, that might be kind of work. Or any color you want, And you could divide this up again if you want to come up with 1, 2, 3, 4. Designs. So play around with a couple, and once you're settled on one, then you grab your paper. So I have these, it's just the samples. These are the real ones. So as I look at this, this fits on here almost exactly. So I think it does. Goes off just a tad bit. So this is the bottom piece. Let me flip this over. This will work. So I know that this will be fine, so I'm gonna use a pen. So I have that. I'm gonna draw a pencil first for the yin yang part. And I keep tweaking it until I feel like I got it. And if you can't see it, I'm gonna do it in pen here. Okay, so that'll work. Maybe this one I'll have the J. So when you design your stuff on here, you have to go either from here to here. The same thing with this one, from here to here or here to here. If you're off by like one grid, because it's all the grid pieces, because it's a 7x14 and 10x10. If you're off by one, that's probably not that big of a deal, but you don't want to be off more than that. Otherwise, your design is just going to be too small. So I'm going to practice that J one on here. So I'm going to go from here to here. I think I'm going to have this 3. No, I'm going to have a 3 thick. And I might go back and make that. Oh, that'll work. Yeah. I mean, and you don't have to follow that line. I could actually bisect, you know, this row right here, make it a little bit thinner. But I'm gonna go in, and I do like the idea of having this piece and having this piece, because it'll just be that much easier to cut out. So I have my 2 designs I can choose from. Now, if you want to draw 2, that's fine. If you want to draw 1, that's fine. But we need to make sure that your drawing is large enough and it's clean enough, because I can cut these shapes out. If I ended up drawing something like this small, that gets really hard, especially if you have a lot of them. So let's keep this one, your practice one, you know, a little bit on the simpler side, and make sure you make these large enough and you keep the lines nice and clean so you can label all these. So I'm going to go through and label them right now. And then in another video, I talk about grain. So you just want to make sure that I want my grain going this way. I want my grain going this way, and that way. This one, this is longer here. So grain. Okay, and 1 and 2. So we'll talk about grain in class, and I talked about another video, but there you go. Thanks a lot.